Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 273 based on novel. So let's start. Go. Without any hesitation, Xiao Yan snorted coldly. Crash. Yu Ran heard the words, and Yu Wei looked at each other. The fighting chi in the two of them soared at the same time, and then with an extremely terrifying attack, they roared directly at one of the thunder-eating beasts. Seeing this, impressively want to break its offensive. Boom. The three thunder-eating beasts that were originally surrounded by a triangle, under the delicate coordinated attack of the Yu family sisters, showed a slight negligence, and then Xiao Yan also attacked suddenly at the same time, and then the attack was directly blocked by him. Collapse. The cooperation of the sisters of the Yu family is really terrifying. Duo Chifei exclaimed slightly. Obviously, these two girls could use the strength of the late two-star Dozian and the middle stage of the two-star Dozian to forcibly eat the two-star Dozian perfection level. The attack of the beast is cracked, it can be said that it is very talented. Crash. As soon as the voice fell, one of the thunder-eating beasts was extremely furious, twisting its huge body, chasing and killing the sisters of the Yu family. Liu Qing and Duo Chifei looked at each other, and then a dazzling offensive also emerged, and then took one of the Thunder Eaters away from here, leaving behind Xiao Yang and the last Thunder Eater, which were also three the most powerful one in the head. Hoo-ho! Seeing the humans in front of them easily defuse their offensive, the Thunder Eater beasts erupted in angry roars. Come on! Xiao Yang sneered and stared at the Thunder Beast with all his attention. When soul beasts and humans are of the same level, only soul beasts are stronger than humans, unless they encounter a pervert like Xiao Yang. And this two-star Dozian perfection level Thunder Beast, the oppression brought to Xiao Yang is even more terrifying than the pastoral song, but Xiao Yang has no fear, because according to Xiao Yang's estimation, now the two-star Dozian strong among them, whether it is a human black soul beast, it is almost difficult to defeat oneself. Thunder Eater glanced at Xiao Yang angrily, and then his strong and powerful limbs suddenly stepped on, trampling directly on the water surface. Boom! The next moment, a silver thunder suddenly appeared. The silver thunder seemed to be the product of the evolution after being swallowed by the thunder-eating beast. It just emerged, and there were waves of ripples on the water surface, and a deafening sound echoed in the space. My good fellow. Seeing this scene, Xiao Yang was about to gently take down the ancient eternal fire ruler behind his back. The attack of this thunder beast is no trivial matter. Bang bang bang! Without any amplification, the silver thunder beside the thunder beast, like lightning, blasted towards Xiao Yang's vital point at a speed invisible to the naked eye. Its formidable power was no less than some fighting skills of the holy class. Seventh layer breaking the sky. Faced with this terrifying power of thunder, Xiao Yang's Ihuaheng ancient ruler flickered directly, and 7 energy rulers with a size of 100 zhong madly shot them away. Bang bang bang! As soon as the two made contact, dazzling energy ripples resounded in the air. Tai. The seemingly tyrannical thunder attack was easily accepted by Xiao Yang. After a short fight, Thunder Beast also seemed to realize that Xiao Yang was not a simple person. Immediately above his body, circles of silver thunder continued to emerge, obviously ready to use his true skills. This guy. Xiao Yang couldn't help laughing at the scene of Leisha Beast being so human. Shabu. In the next moment, the Thunder Eater was bathed in silver thunder. Not only its strength was greatly increased, but its attack and defense power were also greatly increased, so the figure quickly moved, and its moving the space exudes a palpitating wave. At this time, the Thunder Beast, the soul beast bathed in the thunder, was extremely fast, and clearly wanted to use the speed and his body as the strongest blow. Compared to speed. Just in time to try that fighting skill. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, a dazzling flame appeared on his body, and then he closed his eyes gently, regardless of what happened to the Thunder Eater. Is this guy waiting to die? Leisha Beast looked at Xiao Yang who was standing motionless, and couldn't help but have a little doubt in his heart, but the speed did not weaken, and it still carried a tyrannical aura that was devastating. He attacked Xiao Yang and left. Fire explosion technique. After a short while, Xiao Yang's pupils suddenly opened, and a flame-like energy ripples exploded in his body. Crash. With the use of the explosive technique, Xiao Yang's speed turned out to be several times faster. If the speed of the Thunder Beast is like lightning, then Xiao Yang's speed at this time is like the speed of light, and it is extremely difficult to detect whether it is with the naked eye or perception. Looking at Xiao Yang who was floating around, Leisha Beast lost his target for a while, and could only stand there dumbfounded. Until now, it seemed to realize that the man in front of him was not easy. This thunder explosion technique has been changed, and the speed of the explosion is compressed by using the power of flame. It's really astonishing speed. Feeling his unparalleled speed, Xiao Yang smiled contentedly. Forget it, this guy has a lot of tyrannical energy bodies in his body, so let's kill them first. The next moment, he slowly stopped his speed, and a shocking killing intent emerged from his deep-colored pupils. Thunder Food Beast seemed to sense Xiao Yang's violent killing intent, and immediately didn't dare to have any doubts, and ran around as if he were running away. Where to run? Holy flame space. Naturally, Xiao Yang would not give Thunder Eater such a chance. The dazzling khaki-colored Holy Flame Space reward would block all Thunder Eater's escape routes. In addition, the Holy Flame Space could suppress the Thunder Eater's power. The current Thunder Eater is nothing but a piece of fat on the chopping block. Huang Quan Tianwu. A dazzling voice suddenly emerged in the sacred flame space, and then with Xiao Yang's destructive aura, it hit the Thunder Eater. Although Huang Quan Tian's anger is low, but now in order not to expose more means, he can only do this. Hit by a soul attack, the Thunder Eater beast's body suddenly shook, and he fell into a brief absence. Seventh layer heaven-shattering ruler. At the next moment, a loud shout sounded, and then the thunder-eating beast was actually split into two halves by the ancient ruler of eternal fire surrounded by holy flames on Xiao Yang's palm. Even at the place where it was chopped and cracked, the khaki-colored holy flame kept pulsing. Until his fall, the thunder beast probably didn't know why he was so vulnerable in the hands of a mere two-star fighting immortal middle-stage human. And as the Thunder Eater's body was slashed and slashed away, wisps of silver thunder appeared in that body. Apparently there was something. In that body, a heart-pounding strange wave slowly emerged, similar to thunder, but also like a baby, extremely mysterious. What is this? Xiao Yang said when he noticed that the Thunder Eater was easily split in half by himself, and suddenly a rather mysterious light beam slowly emerged from its body. Wong buzzing. The Thunder Eater was chopped in half by Xiao Yang, and its vitality was sluggish. Lei Jing. The next moment, a prismatic silver crystal inside the Thunder Eater beast disappeared into Xiao Yang's line of sight. The silver crystal was about the size of a palm, and traces of silver thunder continued to emerge, but inside it contained an extremely majestic pure energy. Under this trace of thunder, Xiao Yang's heart trembled slightly. This Lei Jing is a good thing, but its value is limited because it can only be used by the lightning-type powerhouse. This Lei Jing is the product of the condensed soul beasts of the two-star fighting immortals. After taking Lei Jing, the thunder-type powerhouse can hope to obtain a more splendid thunder power, or to improve their own strength. The Lord of Soul Eater said. It's really a pity. Xiao Yang shook his head helplessly when he heard the words. It seemed that he had no connection with this thing. Squeak. Although Xiao Yang couldn't swallow it, Xiao Yang would not waste it in vain. With a flip of his palm, he immediately wanted to put away Lei Jing. After all, this is also a rare treasure. Xiao Yang, wait. The next moment, Du Qifei's urgent voice came from afar. Qifei. Xiao Yang heard the words, and the movements on his palm couldn't help but stop. This thing is useful to me, I don't know if it can be given to me. Duo Qifei and Liu Qing's two daughters worked hard to resist a thunder-eating beast, and then communicated with Xiao Yang through their soul power. Of course you can. Xiao Yang heard the words, and suddenly smiled knowingly. After all, whether it was from a friend's point of view or Duo Qifei's identity as a reincarnation, this Lei Jing and Xiao Yang naturally would not enjoy it alone. Thanks. In return, I will take you to the forbidden area of Lei Tomb. There are a lot of good things there, and very few people know about it. Duo Qifei was overjoyed when she heard this, but she didn't want to get Xiao Yang's victory in vain. Lei's Tomb forbidden area? Xiao Yang was startled at first, and then slowly laughed. With his current strength in the middle stage of two-star Dozian, if he wanted to make a breakthrough, he might not be able to do it with an ordinary energy body. There must be a lot of treasures in the forbidden area of Lei Tomb. Although danger is inevitable, Xiao Yang was not afraid of it. Boom. After a while, the Yu family sisters and Du Qifei's second team took a lot of work, but the remaining two Thunder Eaters were completely wiped out by them, but Lei Jing did not appear. No. Seeing Du Qifei approaching him, Xiao Yang immediately threw Lei Jing into him. Lei Jing just poured into Duo Qifei's hands, and suddenly a shocking aura erupted, which seemed to fit Duo Qifei very well. Absorb it first. This is just the periphery. Most of the powerhouses encountered are mediocre. Otherwise, when entering the depths of the Thunder Tomb, the powerhouses encountered will be extremely difficult. Xiao Yang looked at the fiery heat radiating from Duan Qifei's body, and added there was a slight fluctuation between the eyebrows, and he said, Yep. Thank you. Duo Chifei heard the words, did not refuse, just sat cross-legged and suspended the silver Lei Jing in front of him, thus running the exercise and refining it hard. Crash. This Lei Jing seemed simple, but it wasn't. The outermost silver crystal is extremely strong. Even if the power of thunder on Du Chifei is not simple, I am afraid that it will not be able to be cracked for a while. Forget it, just wait. Anyway, it's not too short of time. Watching Du Chifei practice, the other people also quieted down. It seems that the power of thunder on this guy's body should not be underestimated. Looking at the silver thunder that Duo Chifei displayed, a rare sense of horror appeared in Xiao Yang's heart. This girl should have the existence of a thunder-type heavenly seed on her body, so the power of thunder is much more tyrannical than that of ordinary powerhouses. At this time, the master of Soul Eater said, "Thunder-type celestial seed." Xiao Yang heard the words and shook his head slowly, but it was a little unbelievable. Obviously, a thunder-type celestial seed would not bring him such a tyrannical sense of oppression. I'm afraid this guy has something else on his body. Secret. And while the Thunder Tomb was in full swing, some unknown things were quietly happening outside. Inside the Thunder Valley of Forged Knives. In an elegant manner, at this time, Du Tianyang, the deputy head of the Forging Knife and Thunder Valley, was standing in the back garden of the manor quite leisurely and elegantly, lying quietly in the center of the pavilion, drinking tea, a leisurely and comfortable look. Sir, something happened. The next moment, above the pavilion, a sound of nothingness suddenly emerged. What's the matter? Talk about it. Duan Tianyang frowned, and then said with a hint of coldness in his voice. The patriarch of the Yohuan clan and his elite suddenly disappeared from the base camp. The voice of nothingness sounded. Bang bang bang. Duan Tianyang heard the words. The exquisite tea set in his hand instantly turned into powder and scattered in the sky. Yu Huan, this bastard. If it ruins our major event, I will apologize with death. A cold snort suddenly echoed on the pavilion, and the voice was full of chills. In addition, the strong men of the Soul Palace have successfully sneaked into the Thunder Realm, and the forces of our sins have also set up a net of heaven and earth in the Thunder City. Everything is ready except for the east wind. The voice of nothingness rang out so good. Go back and tell the guys in the Soul Palace that no one can act rashly without my order. Another person will be sent into the Thunder Tomb to ensure the safety of Yohuan. At the next moment, Duan Tianyang frowned. My lord, the strength of Master Yohuan and the twins of Yohuan are 4-star fighting immortals, so there should be no accident. The shadowy figure flashed a hint of doubt. Are you questioning what I said? Duan Tianyang snorted coldly. As the deputy valley master of Thunder Valley, he naturally knew what kind of terrifying existence there was in the Thunder Tomb, not to mention the 3 4-star fighting immortal experts. I am afraid that even the 5 4-star fighting immortal experts cannot be compared with some of them. Yes, my lord. The shadow of the void heard the words, and said respectfully, and then slowly disappeared here. These damned alien races, do you really think that humans are stupid? This ghostly clan is really a headache. Duan Tianyang gently softened his forehead, thinking carefully about the final plan this time. Since it is revenge, since the 3 tyrannical forces of sin, the evil clan and the Soul Hall have been gathered, then it is natural to use the momentum of thunder to completely obliterate the Thunder Valley of Forged Swords and even the entire eastern continent. So the start time of this plan is when the Dongju competition is completely over. Wait, it won't be long before this east continent will naturally disappear. Duan Tianyang's mouth showed a trace of evil fluctuations, as disgusting as the worms in hell. Above the grey earth, there is a desolation like a dead silence everywhere, and in the sky, there is a deafening sound of thunder, which completely sets off the Tomb of the Thunder. It's been a month, why hasn't Chi Fei made a breakthrough yet? Isn't something going to happen? The 2 sisters Yu Ranran were a little worried. After all, the few days of communication in the Thunder Realm had created a strong friendship between them. Probably not. Liu Qing's beautiful eyes stared at Du Chifei, who was bathed in silver light, and shook her head. Since this guy is the hope of the entire Thunder Valley, she naturally has her specialties, but this absorption time seems to be a little too long. Boom. The next moment, the power of a dazzling thunder suddenly reverberated in the space where everyone was located, and in this thunder, there was an aura that was familiar to them, and it was Du Chifei's breath. It seems to be a success. And Xiao Yang looked at the thunder in the sky and Du Chifei, who was constantly shining brightly in front of him, and naturally knew that this was a symbol of breakthrough. Crash. Duo Chifei, who was surrounded by silver rays of light, naturally didn't know what they were talking about. A steady stream of silver thunder continued to appear, and then injected directly into the Do core in his body. In a near-saturated state, a deafening sound resounded through the heavens and the earth, obviously a breakthrough. The silver light dissipated slightly, and a trace of silver thunder lingered on Du Chifei's body. Her beautiful eyes opened slightly, and a force that was more powerful than the one above the retreat filled out. The late two-star fighting immortal. Xiao Yang saw through his strength at a glance, and said, obviously this month's time plus Lei Jing's power has allowed Duo Chifei to break through from the middle two-star fighting immortal to the late two-star fighting immortal. It is enough to see that the terrifying energy contained in this thunder crystal is staggering, but because it can only be used by the strong thunder attributes, its value is limited. Thank you. Duo Chifei naturally knew that when he retreated to absorb Lei Jing, these guys had been guarding the law for him, and there were some uninvited guests on the way, but they were all driven away by Xiao Yang. For this kind of kindness, Du Chifei naturally kept it in mind. Since the breakthrough has been made, then we should also move towards the depths. During the time when you were in retreat, I have searched around and found that the energy bodies around here, the strongest ones are only under some Do Di or 1-star Do Xian. For us, it's insignificant. And according to my soul power, it seems that there are some tyrannical energy bodies in the depths of the Thunder Tomb, and those energy bodies are our goal. Xiao said softly. It's natural. Because this is only the outermost layer of the Thunder Tomb. Outsiders don't know, we forged the Thunder Valley to divide the Thunder Tomb into 3 layers. Most of this first floor is just some Do Emperor level energy bodies, and there are almost none of Do Xian level energy bodies. As for the second layer, the strength levels of the energy bodies are not uniform, but there are traces of the energy bodies of the 3-star Do Xian or the 4-star Do Xian. A rare silver thunder flashed in Du Chifei's beautiful eyes. Open your mouth softly. What about the 3rd floor? Liu Qing couldn't help but ask when Du Chifei was hesitant to speak. On the entrance of the 3rd floor, only the master of the Thunder Valley knows that it is extremely mysterious. It is said to be the habitat of the strongest people in each generation of Eastern Continent. It's just because it's too mysterious and obscure, no one knows the entrance. Du Chifei said, but her big watery eyes were excited. Do you know the entrance? The next moment, Xiao Yang felt that Du Chifei's mood was a little unstable, and suddenly said in surprise. I can take you there, but it's a forbidden place for our knife-forging Thunder Valley. I'm afraid it's extremely dangerous, and you are such a favorite in the Eastern Continent ratio. If something happens to you, I'm afraid. Although Duo Chifei, I wanted to take Xiao Yang and the others to the 3rd floor of the Thunder Tomb Forbidden Area to repay their kindness for giving me the thunder-eating beast Lei Jing breakthrough, but there were all kinds of bad rumors in that place, in the Thunder Valley of forging knives, even when they arrived. Talking about the degree of discoloration, Duo Chifei also hesitated at this time. Wait until the end of the Thunder Tomb training, and then go to the 3rd floor of the Thunder Tomb meeting. Now, don't worry. Xiao Yang smiled slightly. At this time, he was obviously quite enthusiastic about this level of powerhouse, and although to this kind of place, but now the premise is to absorb the energy body to improve one's own strength. Okay. Du Chifei glanced at Xiao Yang when he heard the words, and then readily agreed. Since Xiao Yang was sure, he naturally dared to go. The entrance to the 3rd floor of the Thunder Tomb is indeed known only by the past dynasties of the forging knife Legu Valley Master, but Du Tianhong was too fond of Chifei, so he had already told her the location of the entrance. Next, let me rush to the 2nd floor of the Thunder Tomb, there are good things there. The next moment, looking at the grey land around him, Du Chichi suddenly looked at a certain place in the sky and said, the energy body in the 2nd layer should be enough to further improve our respective strengths. Liu Qing said softly, more than that. In the Thunder Tomb, there are countless tyrannical energy and physical energy as the best cultivation energy, but the premise is to defeat them, but this is only the basis of the Thunder Tomb. In the Thunder Tomb, there is a special space called Thunder Pond. There is the most precious place in the entire Thunder Tomb, except for the 3rd floor. Du Chifei's voice was full of yearning. Lei Kai. Everyone heard the words and shook their heads slightly. Obviously, Du Chifei didn't know much about the information in the Thunder Tomb. When they heard the word Lei Kai, they couldn't help but be surprised. Well, Lei Kai. In terms of preparation, this place is surrounded and protected by the power of thunder all day long, and there is even the existence of guardian spirit beasts. Therefore, every time the Thunder Tomb is opened, there are only a handful of strong people who can enter the Thunder Pond. However, once you enter the Thunder Pond, and after you get out, there will be earth-shaking changes. That kind of change, I can't tell you the specifics, but it is very suitable for us. Du Chifei said, the mystery of the Thunder Pond has different opinions in the Thunder Valley of Forging Blades, even she is not very clear. In that case, let's go. First go to the second floor to get some tyrannical energy bodies to enhance your strength, and then go directly to the Thunder Pond. It should be very lively there. A smile appeared on the corner of Xiao Yang's mouth, and he said slowly, "Yes." The other 4 women heard the words and nodded lightly, and then they all moved to the depths of Lei's tomb. On the grey earth, many contestants can be seen everywhere at this time. These contestants are all capturing energy bodies to enhance their strength, but some weak contestants are all was eliminated. When entering the Thunder Tomb, the strong men in the Thunder Valley forged the sword told them that if they encountered an irresistible enemy, they directly crushed the Thunder card, and they would be teleported out of the Thunder Tomb immediately. But the fact that his life is worry-free has also made tens of thousands of contestants quite agree. Oh, it's really bad luck. I just met the energy body of a 2-star fighting immortal powerhouse, but the team of the Alchemist Association gave it a head start. The man in the lead said with a look of anger. They are a squad of the Mercenary Union. In Lei Cheng, in addition to those who are truly proud of the sky, there are also some powerhouses who have just reached the level of fighting immortals will be sent to the Tomb of Thunder by their respective forces. The rare power, coupled with the opportunity of Lei Tomb to increase strength, naturally, the major forces will not miss this opportunity, and they have sent many teams to enter it. Damn Alchemist Association, this is too deceiving. If they hadn't had a 2-star Dozian in charge, our Mercenary Union wouldn't be like this. The dozens of people who traveled with them couldn't help but feel depressed. Xing Dozian obviously still has a long way to go, and the energy of the 2-star Dozian just now can only be given up. Forget it, let's go to other places to see. The next moment, the leading man of the Mercenary Union also said helplessly, and then walked around with a group of men. Oh, the guys from the Mercenary Union? Just when the guys from the Mercenary Union just left, a figure wrapped in white bandages appeared under their feet. This is a man. The man is completely wrapped in white bandages, only revealing a pair of extremely strange pupils. The whole body is like a mummy, full of traces of white bandages. As for the white bandages, there seems to be the existence of special lines is extremely mysterious. Why are you blocking our way? We are the people of the Mercenary Union. Seeing such a powerful man appearing directly in the void, the leader of the Mercenary Union said in doubt. Where is the madrigal of your Mercenary Union now? The white bandaged man ignored the questioning of the group of people, glanced lightly from the corner of his eye, and said contemptuously, "Humph. For a guy of your level, where do you need Senior Brother Pastor to take action? We are enough to kill you." Look at the move. Although Mu Ge is proud, he often participates in the Mercenary Trade Union's tasks, so he has a high status in the Mercenary Trade Union, and has an excellent reputation. When this unknown guy drinks like this, he immediately has a hard time seeing it. The figure opened his mouth. "Looking for death," the white bandaged man said softly, and then some of the white bandages on his body fell off his body like living things, and then easily penetrated the bodies of the resisting guys. Boom. When these 1-star fighting immortals were worn like this, they lost all their vitality and disappeared into the void as a burst of powder. 3-star Dozian? And looking at this scene, the leader of the Mercenary Union also became ugly. This level of crushing, only the powerhouse of the 3-star Dozian level can appear. Until now, a fear of death filled his mind. Speak or not? The white bandaged figure seemed to be extremely impatient to ask. If you don't say it, you'll die. And looking at the few remaining people below who didn't mean to speak at all, the white bandaged figure snorted coldly. The white bandage was falling off, and with a sharp attack, he directly attacked by the few surviving powerhouses below. Run. The leader of the Mercenary Union didn't have time to do more things at this time. He shouted loudly, and the remaining figures fled in all directions. Now, they can only protect themselves and run a few counter few. After all, the strength gap is too obvious. It's too much. The white bandaged figure shook his head slowly, and then the white bandages separated several lines and shot at the fleeing figure. Their attack strength was so strong that if they hit, they would be killed instantly. Ha ha. When did you guys from the Sheguang gang become so arrogant? Just when the white bandages were about to obliterate everyone, a sneer spread in this space. Who? Get out. Just when the voice just came out, the figure in the white bandage couldn't help but feel a tremor in his heart. He was about to retract the white bandage instantly, and then wrapped it tightly around his body. You can't change your name, don't change your surname. Xiao Yang. The next moment, a huge ray of light with a fierce flame slashed towards the white bandaged figure. Crash. Above the flames, there was an extremely masculine aura, and just after entering the white bandaged figure, it immediately brought an extremely tyrannical oppression, which greatly increased the pressure on the man. Xiao Yang has the same name and surname as the lower world kid whom the Soul Palace named to arrest. A coincidence or not? At this moment, a strange thought slowly appeared in the figure of the white bandaged figure. It looks like it's a big fish. Xiao Yang's huge soul power naturally sensed the inner thoughts of the white bandaged man and immediately laughed. Still far away, the holy flame in Xiao Yang's body erupted with an extremely tyrannical disgust, which also proved that there should be foreign evil races mixed into the Thunder Tomb. In addition to this guy in front of him, the white bandage was like a mummy. The strange costume that usually wraps his body completely makes Xiao Yang unable to help confirm the identity of the guy in front of him. This guy is an alien race. The white bandage on his body is not only a weapon, but also has an extremely tyrannical sealing power. Under the sealing power of the white bandage, the evil power in his body is extremely difficult to find. However, Xiao Yang has a holy flame, and it is not so simple. The seal will be able to cope with the past. You take good care of the guys from the mercenary union. This bastard, leave it to me. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, the dazzling fighting spirit on his body suddenly became hot, and his eyes locked tightly on the white bandaged man in front of him. Ha ha. Boy, you don't seem to be weak, but if you want to defeat me, it's a fool's errand. Facing Xiao Yang's arrogant tone, the man in the white bandage snorted coldly and said the same. Stop talking nonsense, let's do it. If you lose the match, you will fall into my hands. Xiao Yang's eyes became hot, obviously not knowing whether it was because of Sheng Yang's restraint or hatred of the evil race outside the territory, or because Xiao Yang, as the controller of the holy flame, had to obliterate the foreigners. The mission of the evil clan caused Xiao Yang to show some twists that were close to madness. Strange, this guy from the Sheguang gang, the aura in his body doesn't seem right. Looking at Xiao Yang and the man with white bandages in the sky, who were arguing with swords, Du Chifei immediately saw the aura of the man with white bandages in his beautiful eyes. Immediately noticed something was wrong. Feia, have you felt it too? The next moment, Liu Qing, who was beside her, also raised her eyebrows. Because she is a light element, she has an extremely strong perception of evil and dark forces. She just saw the white bandages. After being a man, she actually caused an extremely tyrannical sense of oppression and disgust in her body. This kind of feeling can only appear in very few things. Let's just wait and see. Xiao Yang didn't have any intention of letting us do it. He should have noticed that this guy is not easy. He should have his own way. If you lose in the end, it's not too late to take action. Looking at the extremely tyrannical pressure from the white bandaged man, Du Chifei and Liu Qing looked at each other and said, obviously Xiao Yang's strength is not superficial. It seems so simple. The two of them, one is the darling of the current sword-forging Thunder Valley, and the other is the high level of the Holy See. Although the strength is not strong, if the means in their hands are fully displayed, even if they are facing the real Samsung Dozian, they want to break away, is not difficult. Your identity should be quite special. I'm a little curious as to why you dare to appear in the Thunder Tomb. Xiao Yang laughed, his voice full of confidence. Although this guy's strength is not low, but today's own body, movement fighting skills, soul interference fighting skills are readily available. Even if it is facing the real Samsung Dozian, it is not impossible to fight. Ha ha ha. It's really an arrogant guy. After I capture you, I hope you can be so sharp and sharp. The white bandage man laughed, and then said slowly, in his eyes, Xiao Yang is whether there is no difference between the ants that are pinched to death. Are you digging your own grave? Xiao Yang didn't do it the first time, he was trying to come up with some useful words. Humph. Don't think about trying to tell me what to say. Your strength is not weak, but you can only be my opponent. As for your question, you don't need to think about answering it. It won't take long before you will understand. The man in white bandage looked at Xiao Yang, but he didn't mean to run away, and even had a sense of calmness. Is the half-step 3-star Dozian strength your support? That's not enough. Xiao Yang snorted coldly, and the dazzling flames condensed on the ancient ruler of eternal fire, ready to attack. Ha ha ha. You humans, you are indeed a group of creatures who don't know how to know the current affairs of the world. If that's the case, then let you have a good feel for what fear is. The white bandaged man raised his head and laughed loudly, and then under his footsteps, circles of white bandages broke away from his body in an instant, so he kept squirming. It was surrounded, and even after the bandage was removed, the man's human-like appearance was reflected in everyone's sight. This guy. Xiao Yang frowned, dazzling flames continued to emerge, and they gathered towards the surroundings. It was hard to come across a guy with an extraterrestrial aura, no matter whether he was a positive extraterrestrial or an extraterrestrial evil. Xiao Yang will not let him go easily. The person who forged the knife in Thunder Valley? Xiao Yang. And the figures of the mercenary trade union who were already close to falling were looking at the few people who appeared, and couldn't help but feel a passion in their heart. These people are the most influential figures in this Eastern continent rival. Let's go back. The battle here is beyond your ability to deal with. Liu Qing said, looking at the two who were constantly condensing the majestic momentum in the sky. Thank you for your help. We will naturally report this to the top of the mercenary union. Farewell. After several figures finished speaking, their speed skyrocketed and they left. The strange sound of breaking wind continued to resound in the sky, and its mighty momentum even faintly compared the sound of thunder that protected the Thunder Tomb. There's really something wrong with the evil light gang. Until now, Du Chifei was finally convinced that this force might be a branch of the evil clan, or a human accomplice bought by the evil clan. Ghost White Puppet. Come out to greet the guest. The next moment, the white bandages beside the man with the white bandages suddenly appeared in the air with a faint blue light. Crash. As the white man's voice just fell, a gloomy wind burst out in the sky, and a strange evil aura filled the air. After a while, a white puppet with a size of hundreds of feet suddenly appeared in everyone's sight. Middle. The white puppet was like an ancient mummy, and it was wrapped tightly by white bandages, with distinct limbs, a red flashing in the pupils, and a violent force slowly emerging from its body. A puppet. Xiao Yang was bathed in fiery red flames. He still felt a cold killing intent from the white puppet. There was no doubt that the power of this puppet was probably the same as Xiao Yang's so far. The strongest one so far. Ghost White Puppet, do it. Use your power to completely obliterate everyone here. Ha ha ha. Without the cover of the white bandage, a faint blue light slowly emerged from the man's body, and under this light was a hateful evil body. It really is an alien race. Ha ha ha. When I defeat this puppet, there are still a lot of things I need to ask you. Xiao Yang's heart became hot. This was the first time Xiao Yang had fought against a foreign evil clan after he was promoted to Dozian. So close. Boom. The ghost white puppet is made up of white bandages, like a mummy that swells to hundreds of feet in size, but on those white bandages, bursts of evil power burst out, and a rare seal power. The fire is coming. Xiao Yang said in a deep voice, then the Do core in his body revolved at a high speed, and the next moment, Fenju also revolved extremely fast, sending a steady stream of Do Qi to Do technique. And the Do Qi flames that have gone through the Fenju cultivation technique route are much more tyrannical than those simply drawn from the Do core. But now that Xiao Yang is all about defeating this guy, he naturally didn't notice some connections between Doha and Burning Dew. The flames on this guy seem to be a little abnormal. Seeing the fiery red flames wriggling around Xiao Yang's body, for some reason, the evil man felt extremely indifferent, like a natural enemy. By puppet, do it. The next moment, the evil man didn't delay, and immediately started attacking with an order. Are you coming? Let me see how strong this ghost white puppet can be. Looking at the bandaged white puppet whistling in front of him, a strange smile appeared at the corner of Xiao Yang's mouth. This video will end here.